Hello, welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. This is the squad reaction to Heimir Hallgrímsson's squad that he's chosen to face Portugal and Hungary in the upcoming FIFA World Cup qualifiers. And let's look at it. I mean, some of the players that he's chosen. He's brought in a lad called Kevin Otul, who he's been looking at for a while. So he said, I'm going to have some clips from the press conference coming in here as well. He also spoke about how Evan Ferguson is he's back on the grass, and he did speak about Johnny Kenny as well. So he did speak about Jason Malumbi, and he did say that Jason Malumbi and Ryan Manning are the 24th and 25th players, and will likely play more. Malumbi will play the second game against Hungary, so he's out of the Portugal game, it seems, through injury. But here's what you had to say about Kevin Otul from New York City.
Can you explain the logic of trying to integrate a new player into the squad in such an important vital week for the
Yeah, it's just the situation we have. We're lacking depth in this position. And I've watched Kevin Otul play. I know he's a good player. He's been playing and starting all games for New York City FC for about 3 seasons now. So his experience is 26. It's not like he's a young player we are testing. He has quality. And yeah, it's just the situation. Obviously, if Robbie was here, we would have picked Robbie. Callum, Ryan are ahead at the moment, but this just gives us an option to look at him and assess him, and he would definitely give us depth in that position.
So as you can see there, he went on to say that, Kevin Otul, he's played 3 seasons, basically being a regular at New York City FC, and that he's got his clearance. Look, it's a weird one with Hallgrímsson in that position, because you think of Josh Honahan, he also went on to say that Honahan was injured, otherwise he's on standby. And he's had growing issues, which is the case. But then you look at Will Ferry, and I'm not sure exactly what's going on with him. He was in for the last camp, he's out for this one. Now he's brought in Kevin Otul. Does he class him as better than him? I don't really know, but I just think we're going to be going into this Portugal game, which is arguably the biggest game of the group. If we get past it and we do well, the biggest game will be Hungary, but obviously the next game is the biggest at the moment. So I'm looking at it and I just feel a bit kind of flabbergasted by the way he's bringing in players out of the cold and leaving players back in the cold, and just doesn't seem to know much. And and even in other positions, we've got Seamus Coleman, who's the utmost professional, and he will probably play out right back, and rightly so, considering you base that off the Portuguese performance. But he hasn't had any minutes since the last time we played, and that was against, I think, Armenia, and he played 60 minutes there. So he hasn't played a game since. Now, he looks to be in good condition, but Everton haven't used him at all, which is a bit strange considering their fullback positions and fullback options that they have. So it makes me question, are kind of Ireland being more, is Coleman being preferred more by Ireland than Everton at the moment, which is crazy, because last time he played, he was our best player. But look, speaking of our best player, obviously we know one of Evan Ferguson's the one that's been scoring goals. So here's what you had to say about Evan Ferguson and obviously in-form Johnny Kenny.
You named Evan Ferguson in the squad. I think that was probably a surprise to a lot of people. What's his situation?
He's back on the grass, so he has what he's recovering from a knock. Yeah, we'll call him in, and would have called him in anyways to assess him and maybe have the option of playing him even only for the second game. But he has been key to our goals and scoring for us. So yeah, we'll call him in, we'll assess him, but we have positive that he will be ready.
If he isn't ready, and you say there he might only make the second game, was it in your thinking to call Johnny Kenny in, given his form for some reason?
Yeah, even we were thinking about calling him in anyway, but he would be the next in line up front. He's recent 2-3 games he's been scoring, looks lively, and has the confidence from his coach. And he's a little bit different than the others we have. Going in behind, poacher in the box. Yeah, and I think he scored 3 goals in his last 2 games or something. So on a high at the moment.
And he just didn't make the cut just because we seem to have a lot of options up there.
Yes, it's also the games we're going to play. We think the three strikers we have would be picked in before him at this stage. But like we know that if Evan is not ready, definitely will. He is the next in line, if I can say so.
So yeah, he obviously likes both players, as you can see there. And look, if Evan's fit and back, great. But we don't want it to be another, situation like with Troy Parrott, where basically he's picking players that are injured to try and come in and perform a miracle, because it's just going to hamper them in the long run. I'm sure the clubs won't be happy with that either. We obviously know the situation with Sammy Smolix. He also addressed that as well, so you can hear that here.
On a player who isn't in the squad, like Sammy, you said, is out for a while. I'm sure you might have seen stuff that he was saying about the reaction he's gotten from fans having withdrawn from the squad the last 2 times. Have you spoken to him about that at all? It seems like he's been affected by the reception he's gotten.
Yeah, we've spoken to him, and Sammy has always been really honest to me. And if the club says he's injured and he says he's injured, there's no reason to doubt that, in my opinion. And he's always been honest to us. At this stage, he has a serious injury, so he will be out for a long time. So that's why he's not included in the squad now. But definitely he wanted to come in before that injury and show everyone how dedicated he is. And I have no reason to doubt him at all.
So yeah, obviously he says that Sammy's been very honest with him and stuff like that. And I believe Sammy Smolix. I do believe some fans get carried away with this sort of stuff and start thinking that if someone makes up a rumour online, that everyone jumps on it and thinks it's true. I don't believe it's true. I think he's turned up every time he can. He's played with injections. His manager has said it, and obviously the Ireland manager said it now. So yeah, he just went on then towards the end to just say that some of the other players were on standby, and that some of them are carrying knocks and stuff like that. But the likes of Smallbone's out with an injury, Boston Lowell, all of these sort of players are all out. So look, it's going to be interesting to see how we get on, and we'll know the full scale of the squad next week when they all report on Monday morning. After the weekend of playing. So hopefully we don't get any injuries to any players over the weekend, and then we'll know the squad. But it's going to be interesting. I'd say if Kenny scores again now at the weekend, I think he'll be called up regardless. So yeah. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching.